Hawaii Blues fan. We're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
Look at my life, I'm a lot like you were. Oh man, look at my life, I'm a lot like you were. Oh man, look at my life, 24 and there's so much more. Live alone in a paradise that makes me think of two.
Presented by Scott Credit Union, your St. Louis Blues!
And it's the BlueNote Fan Report! Aloha and mahalo and welcome to the show! I am Guy, the Y Blues fan, and I am here to host you through We Go to take on a hurricane. Yes, a hurricane is blowing into St. Louis. It's got all this wind and it's stingy. Yeah, so stingy. They don't give up goals. Going to be an interesting game tonight. And now we're going to see the narrative play out that the Blues only play good against good teams and bad against the bad teams, and that's not a true narrative, right? She did it again. She overslept. The Ashley Nader. Them 4 a.m.s ain't getting good for her, but we love her. We love her to death. She'll be here. We know that. The narrative that's out there is that the Blues play down to these bad teams, and really, when you look at the bottom 10 teams, they're playing at a 625 clip, and they're overall a 630 clip. Well, that tells me right there that they're playing the same with everybody, right? If they're playing, so to say that they play down to these teams isn't actually a true statement. It seems that way. This is where sometimes the eye test just freaking lies to you, right? It honestly just lies to you. And I felt like that. Now, another narrative is the weekend games. Oh, the Blues don't play well on the weekends. Well, we'll see tonight. Now, the last time we played to Carolina back in November, we lost 3-2 to them in Falk's return. Falk may have a little bit of an edge to him today. He may want to really, take it back to this team. So look for him to have a good game. The lines I'm not happy with, right? You basically to the same damn lines as last weekend, or as Thursday, and you didn't do anything. Well, you know what? Switch them up. Make a major change. Why is the special line not back together? Right? Oh, it's a big 2 points. It's a 4-point game because Minnesota's playing tonight. Thomas! Thomas, how are you? Welcome back. We missed you, my friend. We always love you here on the show. It's Alaska. It's Alaska. I don't think it was a train wreck that everybody thought it was, but it could have been better. I'll do that. What do you think the score will be tonight? Alexis, we'll talk about that. I usually talk about that later, closer to the end of the show. But right now we're just kind of talking about what the matchups are and things like that. But we'll get there. It's an important game. I'll say that. I mean, this is a big important game. Blues have 19 games left, 38 points. Right? They need that 100-point mark. They're at 79 right now, 21 points. 21 points is 10.5 wins. Right? 10.5 wins. 10 wins and an OT. 10 wins out of 19 and an OT loss in there. Right? So, just a car crash. Shockey, I love you. I'm doing great. Got a beer, got hockey, can't get better. Well, you know what? You're right. It can't get better because you're joining us on the BlueNote Fan Report tonight. That's right. It is who? Okay. No. We got to do this the right way. He wants to know who's in goal, so we'll tell him.
Today, after the pre-game meeting, Coach Craig Berube was asked who would start in goal. His answer was, it'll be a game-time decision. That has everybody wondering, who is going to start in goal? Oh, I wonder who's going to start in goal? Tell me, oh, who's going to start in goal? I've got to know the answer. Is it Bennington or Husso? Oh, I wonder who's going to start in goal?
It's Husso! You guys got the Husso song. Oh my goodness, Thomas, that's your fault. I said it before, and I'll say it again. If this team would be play their game, they'll beat anyone. I'm with you there. They should have switched the lineup around. Alexis, I'm with you on there. I'm with you. Absolutely with you on that one. Tammy just absolutely loves the Husso song, and I appreciate it. Get the numbers up, guys. I want to hit that 50. That's the goal. 50 viewers before the end of the regular season. And I know we can get there. I know things are getting a little better. I know I'm not using the Guy Benson account, but I am using the BlueNote Fan Report account and a couple other accounts. I'm working to get the numbers up. I think you guys can help me get it there. Share it to your pages and just say, hey, come check out this show. This is where you get to talk about the game. And we'll go from there. So one of the matchups tonight, one of the things tonight that I think is going to be really important is going to come down to 5-on-5 play, right? The Carolina Hurricanes, they're a stingy team. They've allowed the least amount of goals per game and total in the league. 5-on-5, they've allowed 108, right? And they've scored 147. That is a 39 plus 39. That's just wow. Plus 39, 5-on-5, wow. Now the Blues, on the other hand, have allowed 120 and scored 144, so plus 24. So they're a good team 5-on-5 too. When it comes to special teams, now to me, special teams, this goes to the Blues, right? Power play, the Hurricanes overall, they are 7th, 24.6%. On the road, they are 12th in the league at 20.7. The Blues are 3rd overall at 26.4 and 9th at home at 25.0. So they can do a little better at home. Now, penalty kill. This is where, this is where the rubber meets the road. The best penalty kill in the league is the Carolina Hurricanes at 89.4%. That is otherworldly. On the road, they're second at 86.9%. They're actually second at home too at 91.2%. The Blues are 7th overall at 82.9%. At home, they are 11th, 83.1. Now that does, you got to stay out of the box today. You got to let them make the penalties, and you got to stay out of the box. Right? You've got to stay out of the box. And then another thing that the Blues need to do on the penalty kill that they haven't done for the back half of the season is you need to be aggressive. Right? You need to be aggressive. You need to be aggressive and be the guy, get that shorthanded goal, because that's a backbreaker. Right? You're not the only one there. You're not the only one there at all. Ryan Green says this is a chance to respond to a loss and prove our worth against another top team. I don't think they need to prove their worth. I really don't. Right? I really don't. Alexis hates overtime games. You're not the only one, Alexis. They got to fix overtime. I don't mind the 3-on-3. I think it's too short. I would like to see them go 4-on-4 for 10 minutes. Half a period. Right? I think that would open up a lot more, right? And I think that would I think you would see better overtime periods than what we're seeing now. And I really wish that they would think about going to the 3-2-1 point system instead of a 2-2-1 point system, right? Because that's what it is now. Right now, it's a 2-2-1-0 point system. You get 2 points for a win. You get 2 points for an overtime win. You get 1 point for an overtime loss. You get no points for a loss or a regulation loss. Take that away. Take that extra point away from the overtime, from the overtime. Make it 3 points. And then I think you would see much better overtime play. And then I think you'd see a lot better play in the see a lot better play in the last 5 minutes, right? I don't hate the shootout. I know some people do. I don't. I think there's a way to make the shootout better. I would start the puck at the blue line, and instead of the player getting, all that speed coming up, he starts standstill at the red line. So he's at the red line, standing still. The puck is at the blue line, right? That way, it cuts some of that angle out, and it gives a little bit more back to the goaltender. 40% is too much for me, right? And that's what for penalty shots or things like that. You're looking at about a 40% rate of scoring. That's too much. That's too high. You're putting so much on the goaltender. I think it needs to be closer to 50%. It needs to be, in that lower. It needs to get lower. It needs to be closer to 30%. Right? I just don't like it being where it is, and I want the goaltender to have a better opportunity. Right? I really do. I want him to have a better opportunity. The goaltenders for Facebook user. I know you are seeing me from the BlueNote fan report. If you're doing that, there's a thing at the top of it that says, "Hey, I'm going live. Please click here so we can see your name." If you don't do that, let me know who you are so I know who I'm talking to. Okay. Lot more sense of and I think it would. I think it would give a more of a sense of urgency in overtime. Would you keep the shootout or go back to ending in ties? I hate the ties. I would take the shootout. But I think I'd change the way the shootout's done. Instead of 3 rounds, I think I'd make it 5. And then after 3, you can shoot anybody. Right? I really do. I think after 3, do it more like the international shootout. Right? That's what I would do. Let's see, what were we talking about here? I was bringing up some type of numbers. Oh, the goalies. That's what I was doing at. I don't know who they're starting, and I haven't seen, but it doesn't matter. I mean, both Ranta and Anderson, and it looks like it's Anderson in net. Got 32 in there. I can't tell who that is. 32 is Ranta. So I'm pretty sure that Anderson might be starting tonight, but Anderson's played 44 games. No, Ranta's starting tonight. So, okay, so Ranta is 10-4-3 with a 232 and a 918. You know, that's minuscule, right? Minuscule. And you got Husso, 16-5-4, 233 and a 925. But in recent games, Husso has not played well, right? He has not played well, and that's something to think about. The last 10 for Carolina, they're 5-3-2. The Blues are 4-3-3. For the month, the Blues have not had a good month. You know, I think they have 6 or 7 points for the month, right? And that's a number that kind of concerns me. I'm trying to pull it up now. Sometimes my numbers jump on me. Here we go. So for the month, the Hurricanes are 5-4-3 for 13 points. The Blues are 3-5-3 for 9. You know, this has by far been our worst month, and I think we only have 2 games left in the month, maybe 3. Right? We got this one and then 2 against Vancouver. Right? So we got 3 games left. You know, you get the 6 points, you're sitting at 15. That would be up there, but I don't know if you can get the 6 points. I really don't. Because when you go face the Canucks, I mean, they're fighting for their playoff lives. Now, I don't think that the Canucks have a chance in hell, but if they believe they do, that's what's going to happen. Jason wants to see Ashley's bedhead. Tammy says she'd be okay with that. I'm not sure what she's talking about. Alexa, how many jerseys do I have? Somewhere in the 20 to 30 range, right? I have some jerseys that, like, I have my daughter's original 94, 95 clown jerseys when they were little. So, but I'm counting that in there. I know I have 5 hanging up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 hanging up. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I'm somewhere in the 20 range. I mean, I can see 15. I can see 15 jerseys just right off the top right here. Right. The 5-round shootout. Yeah. I want to see. I want to see it have a little bit more. I just have a little bit more to it. When they took sudden death overtime away from the regular season, they didn't take sudden death overtime away from the regular season. Right? They haven't. Right? You still have sudden death overtime. If you score in overtime, that's it. So it's still there. It's still there. It's just that it's a shorter period. It's only 5 minutes. I'd like to see it extend to 10. Right? It is. Because if you score, it's over. That's sudden death. Right? The only one that, basketball doesn't have a sudden death. Baseball doesn't have a sudden death. Really, the only ones that have sudden death is the NHL and really the NFL kind of sort of does, but not what they used to. Since they're playing Carolina tonight, would you call the NHL Southern expansion back in the late 90s or 2000 excess? Only one team has moved. I think I would, right? Carolina was a team that moved. I don't think they were an expansion team, were they? They might have been, but I thought they were a team. No, they were a team that moved. They were the old Whalers, right? So they were a team that moved. The Thrashers were an expansion. The Panthers were an expansion. The Nashville was an expansion. Tampa Bay Lightning was an expansion. And I don't think anybody else is, right? The Hurricanes were the Whalers, right? Are the Whalers, the Hartford Whalers. So, but to say that's the Southern expansion for the most part, because you also have to count Columbus was an expansion team. Columbus, though, that's not a Southern expansion to me, right? That's not a Southern team. I would count Arizona in that has an expansion, and maybe San Jose, because San Jose came in 25 years ago. No, almost 30 now. So they're in that 90 time frame, 92 time frame. They're just ahead of that. So yeah, for the most part, I'd call expansion a success. I mean, Carolina's been to the finals. Florida's been to the finals. Tampa Bay's won it 3 times. I don't think Arizona hasn't. You have Arizona was a move. Okay, that's right. Who were they? Were they the original Winnipeg Jets? I think they were the original Winnipeg Jets. Right? We can, Brad. We can, buddy. I mean, we got about 15 minutes before game time comes up. Thank you guys all for joining us and watching the show. I really, really appreciate it. It makes, I do. I really do. It makes me feel good. I enjoy it when you guys get on here and talk to me and tell us what you think's going on. We got 4 people watching on YouTube. 1 watching on the Anthony account, 2 watching on the Hawaii Blues fan account, and 2 watching on the Blue Note fan report. See, I'm not completely off, but for the most part, I'd say Southern expansion was a success, right? And then you got Vegas, right? Vegas is an expansion team. I think that in the overall scheme of things, the overall scheme of things, the NHL has done a good job. I mean, I'm not one of those guys that gets on the commissioner like everybody else does, Gary Bettman, right? I don't think Bettman's done that bad of a job. I think there's things that he could have done better, but I don't think he's done that bad of a job, right? But Seattle, now he said Southern, bud. And Seattle is definitely not a Southern team. They're a Northern team there. So I could consider Nevada. I know they're out west, but you could look at Nevada and almost, or Vegas and almost say they're a Southern expansion. So yeah, they did, Jason. They absolutely did. I want to see a team in Kansas City. I've been doing a lot of thinking about that, and I don't. Right? I don't. I think a team in Kansas City would be detrimental to St. Louis, right? I think that it's going to take a large section. It's going to take a lot of fans away. It's going to take a little bit away from the rivalry with Chicago. Right, because it's going to give Chicago another rival, and it gives us a rival. I just think it takes away. I'm not there with Kansas City yet. I just see, I was originally, but right now I see more negatives. I think if Kansas City were to get any type of team, they need an NBA team. I think that they would do better with the NBA than St. Louis would, and that's my mind. Thomas says, I think people like Gary because of the lockout that canceled the entire season. And I think a lot of people are still bitter about that. Well, that was in 2004. And you got to remember something here. That wasn't completely on the NHL. Okay. The players had plenty of opportunities to negotiate better than what they did. Right. The owners wanted the salary cap, and it was going to happen. Right? The players didn't want it. It was going to happen. You were going to have a salary cap. It was absolutely going to happen. Right? The salaries for NHL players based on revenue, had gotten out of hand. Players were earning, in some cases, 90% of the revenue. 90% of team revenue. Now, that's on the team for paying that. But when you have teams that keep doing, you get forced to do it, right? It's either that you're either, and it's like MLB right now. You have teams out there whose payroll is under $40 million, where you have other teams that are upwards of $100 million. Well, if you're going to pay good players, if you're not going to pay, you're not going to get it. Should have won. Most of the people I met there were St. Louis transplants. Well, see, Kevin, that's exactly why I wouldn't, because you're going to lose that fan base. You're going to lose that. That's going to go away. They're going to move into Kansas City, and eventually, I have a friend who gets on the show every now and then. She lives up in Seattle. Now, she's a big Blues fan, but she goes to every Seattle game. She's a season ticket holder. So in some ways, you can lose some of your base. And I think that, up there, if you lose, 50, 60 fans, not a big deal. But if you lose 100,000 fans, 200,000 fans in Kansas City, that's a big deal. I disagree. I really do. I've seen too many transplant swap teams, and I've seen it a lot. And not just I've seen it in baseball. I've seen it in football. I knew a guy that was a diehard Bills fan. He moved to the Boston area, Massachusetts, and became a Patriots fan. Well, that doesn't work with me. Right? Cards are at 140 million. Yankees are at 2. I think those are a little high, Roland. I'd have to check, but I think those might be a little high. Right? But yeah, and then you got teams. I think it's 3 teams or 4 teams that are under 40 million. Right? So the salary cap was coming, no matter what. Tarasenko. Wow, is he having a year? Right? I know he's only okay, Thomas, I appreciate that. And I see that, but you do see, I think with Kansas City, it would be a big difference. Right? I think it would be a big difference. I really do. Right? Because these won't be, while they may be St. Louis transplants, them living in Kansas City now, they will absolutely get behind a expansion team. Right? Absolutely. And I could see it being a huge revenue hurt for the Blues. I really do. Right? The more I think about it. And that's just, me right now. So who are your guys' picks to click? Who do you think's going to click tonight? Who's going to have a good game for the Blues? Who do you think might have a bad game for the Blues? I want to hear what you got to say. As we've got about 10 minutes to go, give or take. Yes and no. I mean, they do and they don't. Right? And yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, Thomas. Right? Kevin, I don't want to completely disagree with you. You're right, and you're right in some points, but it's the closeness, right? It's that closeness. For example, when Nashville got their expansion team, they took fans away from Columbus. Right? They really did take fans away from Columbus. I mean, that had something to do with it. So I know when you get these expansion teams that are just a tad too close, you're going to take fans away. Right? I do that. I think after the Ruby talk, this game's going to tell us a lot about where the team is. Has a unit guy. You might be right. Thomas Tank Line will have a big game, and our fourth line is coming out hitting. I don't see this. This is a game, if you come out hitting, you're going to lose. You've got to come out and play not a heavy defense, but a smart defense against Carolina. Right? Carolina can move the puck, and they're stingy. You have got to get in, not on a forecheck, but on a cycle. You have got to get them hemmed in and tired, so you will have solid shots. You have Ranta's a good goalie. You've got to get net front presence. You got to get bodies in front of him. You got to tip pucks, and you got to really work hard against Carolina. And if you're going to come out hitting them, you're going to lose. Right? This is not a team you come out hitting against. I don't see that at all. For me, Huso has to have a big night tonight. You know what? If they forecheck like that tonight, they're absolutely going to get caught up ice. Absolutely they will. This is not a team you forecheck heavy against. You get in there, you get the puck out. If you don't get it out, you're not getting it out. You know, one guy, let one guy try. Right? As stingy the Hurricanes are, I think I'm talking to guys who have done this before. My pick to click is Vladdy. I like that, Thomas. Guido's going 4-3 Blues. Guido, I'm in that same general area. The last time we played him, it was a 3-2 Carolina win. I'm going to reverse that, a 3-2 Blues win. But I really would like to see Huso just stand on his head tonight. I'm worried the Blues are going to try hard because of Berube calling them out and calling them and himself out. I don't think Berube called himself out, to be honest with you. I think he called them out, but he didn't call. See, that's my problem with that. I still think that there's a bit of a coaching issue. I mean, I like Berube. I do, but I do think there's a bit of a coaching issue. I think that, the neutral zone shows that. I think that the fact that we don't have a statistician, right? A statistician on the staff said that. Yeah, but he can say that, but after you call him arrogant, that's just like throwing it in afterthought. So it doesn't bode well to me, basically. Again, they got to play smart hockey tonight. This is not a keep it simple game. This is a smart hockey game. You have to play smart tonight, right? Have to play smart. We got Jamie Rivers in between the ice. By the way, in Hawaii, no more mask. I can go out without a mask. Yay! I just play smart tonight. Yeah, I get it, E. Yep. He has not been on the Berube chain for a while. He got off that bandwagon quick. He got off it quicker than I did. I love you, E. Guys, I want you to have a great night. I want you to enjoy the shows. I want you to share the shows on your page. Man, I got Tad Dieterman, Thomas Mariner, Gene Frick, Jason Nichols, Alexis Dixon, Ashley Jones, and Tammy Pemberton. Thank you so much for throwing those thumbs up in the air. We really, really appreciate it. Facebook, I don't know who this is. David Perron, if he can stay out of the sin bin. And let's see if I can try and figure out who this might be. Nope, I'm not sure where this person's coming on at. I bet you I know where they're coming on at. Probably coming on from the Hawaii Blues fan clan. That's why I'm not seeing it. I'll take mine off as soon as you take yours off, Roland. Right? Just remember that. Oh, it's Aaron. So, Aaron, you're watching me on the Hawaii Blues fan clan. I'm almost sure of it, right? And if you are, if you look on that, in that box, it says I'm going live on StreamYard. Click here so I can see your comments. You need to click on that to give StreamYard permission to show your name, right? I'm looking forward to this game, guys. We're almost on. So, hey, this is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, saying aloha and mahalo. And I will see you at the first intermission. Thank you. See you at the first.